Good evening.
How are you?
Fine, thanks. How are you?
Doing all right.
Good. We're conducting a DUI checkpoint. Have you been drinking, sir?
I'd prefer not to answer any questions.
I'm sorry?
I'd prefer not to answer any questions.
Prefer to not answer the questions. Why is that?
Can
you roll your window down a little bit more, please?
I can hear you. I can hear you, sir. I mean, it
can't
is a
see
little
in, I'm
cold
sorry.
outside. Said it is a little cold
It
outside.
is a little cold.
So
You're right. You said you prefer not to answer the questions.
I don't feel the need to, sir.
Okay. Your eyes are a little bloodshot, sir.
Okay.
Do
That's
me a
your
favor.
opinion.
Pull over into the Whole Foods parking lot.
Do I need to, sir?
Yes.
Am I being detained?
Yes.
Under suspicion of what?
DUI.
Okay. Where would you like me to go, sir?
If you would pull into the Whole Foods parking lot, right there in front of that Whole Foods sign.
Yes, sir.
Hey, Gallison, he's pulling in. He's going to pull in. Bloodshot eyes, and he won't roll his window all the way down. All right. Yep.
Sir?
Yes, sir.
All right. You let your window down just a little bit, please.
I'll let it down just a touch, sir. Just because per your request.
Don't be difficult, sir.
I'm not being difficult,
Just
boss.
let your window down so you can be on your way.
Am I being detained?
Yes, right now you are because
Under
you're not
suspicion of what?
because you're not about you because you you come through a checkpoint.
I understand that.
And when you come through a checkpoint, we have a right to check to see if you are under the influence of anything.
Sir, you have a right to ask me questions.
Right.
I am not required by law to answer those questions.
No, you're not.
No, sir, I am going to audio and video record
That's
this.
fine.
May I have your name?
My name is Officer Gallus.
May I have your ID number, please?
My name is 3156.
Thank you, sir.
You been drinking anything tonight?
I would prefer not to answer the question.
Okay, I need you to step out of your vehicle.
For what, sir?
Because I'm asking you to step out of your vehicle.
I understand that, sir.
Because you got your eyes is red and you refusing to answer my questions. And right now, it appears that you under the influence.
Am I required to step out of the vehicle?
Yes, you are.
Sir? For what?
Because I'm telling you to step out.
I understand that, sir.
Hey. Hey.
May I have a supervisor, please?
One of y'all come up. Hey. 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 Where Lieutenant Half-Acre? Where Lieutenant Half-Acre? All right. Call on the radio and tell her to come on up here. Because we're going to have to place him under arrest. He's refusing to step out of the vehicle.
Sir, I'm not being combative.
Yes, you are.
The gentleman,
That's exactly what you're doing, sir.
The gentleman was
That's
aggressive
exactly
with
what
me,
you're doing,
sir.
I've asked you twice nicely.
Do you have a breathalyzer? I'll take a breathalyzer.
I asked you twice nicely.
All right, sir, but I'm asking you, am I legally required to step out of the vehicle?
Yes, if the officer asked you to step out.
Are you ordering me to step out of the vehicle? You were asking, sir. Are you ordering me to step out of the vehicle?
Yeah, because you're refusing to do anything we asked you to do,
sir.
Sir,
That's because you asked. Are you giving me a lawful order to step out of the vehicle?
You need to step out of the vehicle.
That's fine. Sir, I am going to reach down to unbuckle myself. I'm a permit holder, and I am armed.
That's fine. That's fine.
Okay. I'm going to turn off the car.
Now you need to put your camera down.
Well, unfortunately, sir, for my protection.
No, you need to put your camera down.
Sir, what I'm asking you,
need to
I'm going to put it right here.
That's fine. That's fine.
However, I'll say, now,
Okay.
sir, what I'm asking you is that I don't care to answer any questions.
Okay.
I'm not going to do any field sobriety.
Okay. Well,
if you have a breathalyzer,
I got a breathalyzer, but if you're not gonna do anything that I'm asking you to do, I don't have no choice but to place you under arrest.
Well, sir, that's what I'm saying.
I'm not gonna have no choice but to place you under arrest, sir. If you're gonna refuse to do anything that I'm asking you to do,
I have not had anything to drink this.
Well, that's the only thing I asked you from the beginning.
Oh, I understand that, but I chose not to answer the question because I didn't like the way that it was phrased.
Well,
we don't have to phrase it the way you
Well, ma'am, I understand that. I understand that. Ma'am, I'm just saying that I'm not legally required to answer those questions.
If you come through, if you come through a sobriety checkpoint and your eyes is red like they are right now, we have a right to see if you are under the influence of anything.
I understand that.
And I explained that to you plain and simple. And you made this.
I'm not trying to make this difficult.
But that's exactly what you're doing.
I'm trying to.
And you're trying to intimidate me.
No, sir.
With
This
your,
is for my protection. This is for my protection.
What you mean your protection?
This is for my protection.
Well, he's saying he's gonna refuse anything.
Again, ma'am, it's cold out. I'm shivering.
Well, you wouldn't have been out of your car, sir. You wouldn't have been out of your car
know that
because you wouldn't have. Listen.
please stop
listen,
yelling, sir. I'm being
listen,
calm.
listen.
I'm
But
being
you
extremely
over-talking
calm.
him.
Yeah,
so
because you're not
apparently you
listening.
won't listen.
So I'm having to,
My
just like she said, I have to talk loud because you keep talking and you won't listen.
I understand that, sir.
When we asked you to just let down your window enough to make sure that you hadn't had anything to drink, so we can check you, you refused, right?
I said it was
You
cold
refused.
outside,
No.
My window was
No,
down.
Good enough
no, it
reason.
wasn't down enough for us to check
And
you.
it's
to do
for our
what?
safety.
Right, because you had
Ma'am.
you had your window up where we couldn't make contact with you.
Is this her supervisor?
Yes.
I
Right.
am
You
the
are the supervisor.
lieutenant.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, okay?
How are you,
So
ma'am?
I'm great. I need you to just be quiet and listen to my DUI officer, okay?
I understand
Thank you
that,
very
ma'am.
much.
What am I-
You're
no,
talking
ma'am.
now.
Am I
You're
being detained?
talking. I asked you to be
Am
quiet
I being
and
detained?
listen.
Am I free to go?
No, you're not.
No, you're not.
I'm
Thank
being
you.
detained.
Thank
Yes, you
you.
are.
Under
It's
suspicion
on your
of what
report.
crime?
DUI.
DUI.
Well, that's
Right.
enough.
Okay.
Come on, I'm ready.
The same thing I told you before we didn't pull you out the lane. All you had to do is roll down
You
your
had
window
two
and let me
signs
check
that
you.
came up to pass.
Because you had
I-
you had a
because
right
this
to turn
is-
around.
This is the easiest way on my way home.
But
Okay.
still, if you
Then
come through a
if you
sobriety
come through
checkpoint and we suspect you to be up under the influence of something, we got a right to check
Sir,
you.
if I was under the influence of something, why would I come through a sobriety check?
Because
You know,
they
we
do
get
all
we,
the time.
we get we get where you think we run checkpoints?
I understand
This is where
that,
we catch
sir.
DUI
Yes,
offenders.
I
at.
understand that.
When you get
I'm
educated
exercising my
about
right.
And
this,
on-
then
and-
you come back, okay?
Oh, ma'am, what am
When
I
you
what am I
get
uneducated
educated,
about? What am I uneducated
because
about, ma'am?
you don't understand that we have the right to ask you.
Ma'am, you have the right to ask me. I
No,
do
sir,
not
be-
require to
uh,
answer.
uh,
You have
But-
the right to
Great.
detain me for 20 to 30 seconds.
Really?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, you
Well,
hadn't been.
I don't
you
know.
hadn't
I don't
been
know
through
what law school.
DUI
Yes,
class.
it's not
I
law
don't know
school,
what law
sir.
school you've been
It's
to.
not law school,
Tell
sir.
us how
It's-
long
no.
we got.
No.
We got a right to detain you until we satisfied that you're not under the influence of any alcohol or drugs,
Do you
sir.
believe me to be under the influence of alcohol or
I
drugs?
haven't had a chance to check you because you've been combative with me.
I'm not being combative.
Yes, you
sir.
have,
I've
because
said
you have
please
not
listen.
complied with me.
My apologies.
Okay.
What would you like me to do?
The only thing I asked you before I even got you out in this cold is that I needed to make sure that you weren't under the influence of anything because you got red eyes.
Okay. That's,
And by you not letting your window down enough for me to detect any kind of odor on you, that's the reason why you over here. Because you would not roll down your window
sir,
so
I'm
that
not
we
arguing
can.
with the fact that I'm over here.
Right, but that's the reason why you're over here. All you had to do was let me do my job out there, and if I would have determined that you weren't under the influence of anything, you'd have been gone on about your way, sir.
I'm pulled over here per your request, sir.
Right.
Per your order.
Right.
Right.
And I don't know what you coming up talking about your protection like somebody done did something to you.
Sir,
Okay.
many things have happened to me in my time, sir. So what is it that I can do?
The only thing I had wanted you to do was just follow this pen, and you
Again.
said you was gonna refuse.
Well, field sobriety tests are not accurate.
Well,
I don't believe so personally.
But
That's what
Again,
you do.
but
That's
that-
what you.
but I'm
That's
asking-
your belief. You
I
are not a
understand that.
police
No,
officer.
yes, ma'am, but I
I'm
have a Fifth
finished.
Amendment
Do
protection.
this test,
This
and we're
protection-
finished.
I understand.
If you're not
This
going to
test-
do it, let us know.
What,
Thank
would you,
you.
what test would you like me to do?
The only thing I wanted you to do, sir, it was gonna take me about 2 seconds.
I
and you'd have
understand
been
that. Sir.
on your
I
way.
need you to tell me what you'd like me to do.
Only thing I wanted you to do was follow this pen. I just need to make sure you're not under the influence of any alcohols or drugs. Sir. That's it. And you'd have been on your way. I could have did this sitting in what you sitting in your car.
I
I would have
understand
never
that,
got you out of your car, sir.
Ma'am, I don't consent to any search.
I don't care what you care about. Sir.
I'm just telling
Thank
you, ma'am.
you.
I understand what you're
I'm
doing.
not talking to you, okay?
Okay,
Would
just
you
follow
like
the
me to
pen.
follow?
Yes, sir, please, sir.
Yes.
With your left eye.
With my left eye?
Yes, sir. I want you to just follow this
Is that
start.
possible? Hold on.
Listen.
With just my
listen.
left
If
eye.
you stop talking and listen and let me explain myself.
Yes, sir.
You keep trying to, you know.
No, sir.
If you would just listen.
Do you have a breathalyzer, sir?
If-
That'd be much easier and
If
faster.
you would just listen. You don't tell us how to do
I'm just
our
asking
job.
you, sir. I don't necessarily
Okay.
care for the field
But no,
sobriety.
but-
I'm requesting
but-
an alternative screening method.
It's no alternative screening, sir.
That's all. That's fine. You're telling me that there's no alternative
No,
screening.
because
That's fine.
because I have to have. I'm using this technique to determine whether I need to go forward with you or not,
I understand that.
and
sir.
that's what this is about.
But do I have the right to refuse this?
If you refuse the test, then sir, we're gonna have to place you under arrest
I
for
understand.
suspicions of being under some
But
kind
am
of
I
drugs or influence.
Do I have the ability to refuse the test?
No, you don't.
I do not have the-
you do, but you're gonna be placed under arrest.
So it's either I do this or the threat of force.
It's no, what force?
I'm just trying to understand what's
It's
happening.
no threat of force. Ain't nobody threatening Ain't nobody threatening anything
Because
on
I
you.
have not been drinking,
Sir,
sir,
I'll
I'm
tell
going
you
to
what.
follow the pen.
Okay.
I just want to
I'm
understand
not gonna argue with
all
you no
my
more, sir.
options.
We're not gonna argue with you no more.
Sir, I
Let's turn
want to
around and place
understand
it.
all my options.
I've gave you your options, sir. I've gave you your options. If you're not going to comply with my wishes, sir.
I've told you I would follow the
Turn
pen.
But no, you're not. But you're not doing what I'm asking you to do. You still not doing what I'm asking you to
What
do.
would you like me to do?
I done told you 5 times what I want you to do.
Am I under arrest, sir?
You're gonna be if you don't comply with my. If you don't comply,
I'm telling you, I will follow the pen, sir. Well, no.
just put your hand down to your side. Thank you. All I want you to do now is I'm gonna follow this pen, and I'm gonna start with your left eye, and I just want you to follow the pen to make sure that you can follow this pen.
Yes,
All right. All right, sir. You can have a seat. You can go ahead and get back in your car. Buckle up.
Sorry about the confusion.
You could have been gone so long ago.
I understand.
You could have been gone so long ago, it's unbelievable.
I understand, sir.
I don't understand why you being that difficult. We out here for all people's protection, and you give us that kind of problem.
My apologies, sir.
That don't even make any sense.
Am I free to
Hang
go?
up, sir, and you're free to go.
Thank you, sir.
We'll get you out in the traffic. Hold on. Straight on back. All right.
Happy holidays. Well, I ended up deciding to comply with him, just for the simple fact that he was threatening an extreme use of force. He did detain me based on the fact that he said my eyes were bloodshot. I woke up about 45 minutes ago. I guess I believe that to be an opinion. Quite frankly, I think that they were a bit aggressive. The supervisor was uninformed, and quite frankly, I don't know, it's terrible. At this point, if I could have afforded to have been arrested, I would have been arrested. Just because I don't believe in the way that they approach things, the way that they handled themselves. So I'll review the tape, and I'll have some kind of follow-up for myself to see if maybe I was being an asshole. I don't know.